Hey guys, Sarek here, and I'm officially back from my little break. So, today I've got a new budget deck for you. This is Time Thief Raidraptor, with a little bit of Phantom Knights as well. It's a really cool deck. It's a combo deck that uses some cards that don't get played very often, so I hope you enjoy the profile. So, we have 3 Time Thief Winder. Time Thief Winder is your Stratos of the deck. You can detach an Xyz material from an Xyz monster you control, special summon it from your hand. If it's normal or special summoned, add 1 Time Thief card from your deck to your hand and accept itself. Really, really simple, really, really strong. Its extension, it searches a lot of your deck and it gets its effect on normal or special summon. So it's a really, really nice card to play 3 of. Second, we have Time Thief Regulator. Now, this is a sort of rescue rabbit of the deck, or rescue cat if you played older formats. You contribute this card, special summon 2 Time Thief monsters with different names in defense position, except Time Thief Regulator. Note, if you summon, say, Adjuster and Winder, you'll get both of their effects, which is amazing. And then, if an Xyz monster is destroyed by battle while this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. That's going to come up less often, especially because a lot of the times you're going to be your Time Thief Redoer and so on won't even be on the field to be destroyed by battle. But it still helps. It's still a nice bonus. Also, it's really nice that if you activate this card's effect and your opponent Ash Blossoms it, you can then use Gamma because you control no cards. Then we have the new card of the deck. We have Time Thief Adjuster. Now, I just wish that this said that you could use both effects in a turn, because unfortunately you can't. So, it can either special summon itself, if you normal or special summon a Time Thief monster, or, if it's normal or special summoned, you can send a Time Thief card from your deck to your graveyard. I wish it could use both of its effects in a turn. It wouldn't break the deck, it would just make it a bit less clunky with regards to the combos and so on. Still a really, really useful card. It's another generic level 4 that can special summon itself out or extend for you. It's really, really useful, it just could have been better. We then have the one-off Time Thieves. We have 1 Time Thief Bezel ship. This allows you to attach cards from your opponent's graveyard as Xyz material, and then if it's in the graveyard, you can detach a material and special summon itself. Again, really, really useful for extension. It's a card that you might send with Adjuster, and so on. And then finally for the Time Thieves, we have Time Thief Chronocorder. Time Thief Chronocorder allows you to inflict damage to your opponent, so can help you win in time, but most importantly, if face-up Xyz material monster leaves the field by card effect while it's in the graveyard, special summon it but banish it when it leaves the field. That includes Time Thief Redoer's effect to banish itself, because it's by card effect. It's not by your opponent's card effect, any card effect. So that's what Chronocorder is mainly used for. So now we get it into the Raidraptor portion of the deck. We have 2 copies of Raidraptor Stranglelinus. Raidraptor Stranglelinus can special summon itself from your hand if you control a dark monster, but then will lock you into dark monsters. Nearly all of your deck is dark, so that's almost irrelevant with regards to how you want to play this deck. Then, if you control an Xyz monster with a dark monster as a material, you can target a level 4 or lower Raidraptor in your graveyard and special summon it, but it negates its effect. So it's an extender almost in 2 ways, because it extends you by special summon itself, and it extends you by summoning something from the graveyard. Also note that it will only lock you into dark monsters if you use its effect special summon itself. If you put it on the field by another means, it does not, and then use its effect to revive something, it won't lock you into dark monsters. You then have 1 Raider's Wing. This is also a Raidraptor card, as it says at the top. It has the same summoning condition almost as Time Thief Winder, can detach a material to special summon it from your hand or graveyard, but banish it when you leave the field. And then, but its other important effect is it prevents targeting of any Xyz monster with a dark attribute. So it's a really useful defensive card, and again, it's another nice and generic extender for the deck. And then finally, for the Raidraptors, we play one Raidraptor Singing Lanius, which just allows us to special summon itself if we control a face-up Xyz monster. Again, these are all cards that we'll be searching with cards like Force Strix, so we can immediately special summon them out of our hand. We then play 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. Now, Parallel Exceed is obviously really, really useful if we control a link monster. If we make a link summon, we can immediately special summon this to a zone a link monster points to. Most of our combos will go through either Rusty Bardiche or Y Strix, so this is really, really useful, really, really easy to get out, and it's a bonus free rank 4, so an Abyss Dweller most often, or a Tornado Dragon. Then play 1 copy of Perform Mage Hat Tricker, really, really easy summoning condition, just another generic level 4 extender. And then finally we play 1 Phantom Knight of Silent Boots, which if we control a Phantom Knight monster, we can special summon it from our hand. Can only special summon this once this way, but most importantly, this is a card we're sending with Rusty Bardiche to search cards like Fogblade and Shade Brigandine. This is mainly a fodder for that, although may need to be used as an extender if we draw it and then go into Rusty Bardiche and make plays that way. And can also be revived, obviously, with Fogblade's second effect. We then, for our hand traps, play 3 the Psy-Frame package. You know what this does by now. If you control no monsters, you can negate any monster effect and destroy the card. Really, really useful for protecting your Time Thief Regulator from Ash Blossom. Other than that, it's fairly self-explanatory why you play this. We then play, for our spells, we play 3 Time Thief Startup. Now, Time Thief Startup allows you to special summon a Time Thief from your hand, fine, and then its graveyard effect allows you to banish it from the graveyard and then special summon 3 Time Thief cards of different types to that monster. So it's mainly used as a quick effect way of getting a Time Thief body onto the field, so for things like Adjuster, but it also, in a pinch, can use itself to attach materials to your Time Thief Xyz monsters, so you could get all 3 of your Reader as effect, but it's mainly used for the special summoning. We then play 1 Rank Up Magic Soul Shade Force. This is used in your combos with Y Strix to make a copy of Cyber Dragon Infinity. We then play 1 Phantom Knight Rank Up Magic Force. This is used to make obviously your Dark Requiem and your Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon. It's really, really useful because it lets you to rank up from 4 straight to level 6 if you need to. I don't believe we're playing any of the level 6s in this deck, but rank 6s in this deck other than the Cyber Dragon Infinity, which this can't summon, but it's obviously very, very useful. And but just remember that it locks you out of anything other than Xyz monsters after you've used it. Play 2 Twin Twisters for back row removal. 1 Monster Reborn. This deck just likes generic extenders. Really, really useful. Another Called by the Grave. This deck hates Ash Blossom. It's again another way of protecting cards like your Regulator. 3 copies of Phantom Knight of Shade Brigandine. This is a fantastic level 4 extender. Just a free searchable body with Rusty Bardiche. We don't play that many traps, and we're a combo deck, so generally we're going first. We're not going to have too many traps in our graveyard. We then play 1 Fog Blade as another target for Rusty Bardiche, and it also allows us to bring back our Silent Boots if we need more recursion, and it can banish itself if we need to activate our Shade Brigandine. 1 Raidraptor Phantom Knight's Claw. This is a searchable, a monster negate. Really helps to stop cards like Dragoon from destroying stuff, or negating effects that you really need to activate, or preventing cards like Shurike's banishing, Zeus effects, and so on, at the cost of just 1 Xyz monster, and then it can grow your Xyz monster as well if you need that. But it's searchable, and that's the most important thing. 1 Time Thief Retrograde. This is another searchable Omni Negate, but this negates spells and traps, and it attaches the card to the monster as material. Really useful for getting draws and spins with Time Thief Redoer. And then finally 1 Time Thief Flyback. Again, really useful card, lets you attach Time Thief cards from your hand or deck as material, so it allows you to pick and choose which effect of Redoer you want to activate, and then you can banish it, and then attach a card from your opponent's graveyard to it as material. Again, really useful graveyard hate, for getting rid cards, annoying cards like Cyber Angel Ben 10 out of your opponent's graveyard, getting Tri-Brigade Zoo pieces or Tri-Brigade pieces out of your opponent's graveyard without banishing them. And again, it's searchable and very easy to equip under your Xyz monster. So that's the main deck. Now onto the extra deck. Time Thief Redoer. This card is based on Doctor Who. It's a wonderful Xyz monster. So during the standby phase, you can attach the top card of your opponent's deck to this card as material. Quick effect, detach 3 different types of materials from this card, then apply the following effects. Monster, banish this card until the end phase. Spell, draw a card. Trap, put 1 face-up card your opponent controls on top of the deck. This is your main rank 4. It gives you card draw, it dodges removal, and it's non-targeting, non-destruction removal in its own right. It's really good. It's generic. It's how you build up such a good amount of advantage with this deck. Time Thief Perpetua. Time Thief Perpetua works hand in hand with Redoer. So Perpetua, during the standby phase, can special summon a Time Thief monster in your graveyard, and then as a quick effect, you can attach a Time Thief card from your deck to another Time Thief Xyz monster as material. So this is how you attach your spells and traps to Redoer, and why you play cards like 3 Startup, so you can always attach a spell to it, so you can always get extra draws. It's why we play both Flyback and Retrograde, so we can constantly use them. We always have traps in circulation because that's the most powerful of the effects of Time Thief Redoer. And then it can obviously bring back Time Thieves from the graveyard, including Redoer. It can bring back Adjuster to send something to the graveyard. It can bring back Winder, and so on, to get a search. Really flexible. So that's the Time Thief Xyz. We're not playing Double Barrel because it's frankly not very good. We then have 2 copies of Raidraptor 4 Strix. This is generic level 4 and searches a Dark Winged Beast monster at the cost of 1 material. Very simple, very strong, and it's not hard once per turn. So if we can make multiple 4 Strixes, we can search as many times as we want. We then get into our Rebellion package. So this is how we OTK, or what we might consider making. So we have 1 Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. We are never making this unless we're ranking it up. It's just there as a level 4 that we can rank up, a rank 4 that we can rank up. Its effect allows you to get some attack from a monster, but the main reason you'd want a big attack monster is to beat over Dragoon, and this effect targets, so not very good for that. You're only ever using this to rank up. 1 Raider's Knight. We play this because it can rank up itself as its own effect, but it will be destroyed during the end phase of your opponent's next turn. However, That doesn't matter if we go into Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon, because that card can't be destroyed by card effects. But, so it's a really, really useful card. It's essentially a rank up spell in the extra deck that we don't need to draw. We then play 1 Dark Requiem. This is our going first rank up target. You can detach a material, change the monster's attack to 0, and then gain the attack, so a similar effect to Dark Rebellion. But if when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can then detach a material from this card, negate the activation, and then special summon an Xyz monster from your graveyard. So really, really good for maintaining board presence. It's a monster negate that's really, really easy to make, and it gives you back resources as well as destroying the monster that your opponent tried to use. Now we get into the big bad of the deck. Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon. New card, well, new, almost a year old now, from Phantom Rage. This card reaches astronomical levels of attack. It can't be destroyed by card effects, so if you summon it with Raider's Knight, doesn't matter. You can detach a material from this card. It gains attack equal to the total original attack of all other monsters on the field. Then if it has a Dark Xyz monster as material, negate the effects of all other face-up monsters on the field. After the effect resolves, you cannot declare attacks with other monsters on the field. So it's a Dark Ruler no more, plus giving itself all the attack of your opponent's monsters. This card ends games in an absolute flash. It can reach stupidly high levels of attack. It's a really, really strong card, and what enables you to suddenly win games out of nowhere. So now we get into our generic rank 4s, and we're playing 3 of those. We have 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, graveyard decks, any effects that activate in graveyard, goodbye to them. So people who play Burning Abyss, people who play Tri-Brigade, they won't get any of their graveyard effects, although they can still banish them. Eldritch effects, so cards like the Eldlixirs, and so on, they can't activate those effects. 1 Evil Swarm Nightmare. If you're playing another Zoo variant, or a Tri-Brigade variant, or something like that that's not, it allows you to suddenly flip all their monsters face down, and then they can't do anything with them, because you can't link summon or Xyz summon with face down monsters. You can fusion summon though, so be careful in Shaddoll matchups. And obviously, flipping Shaddolls face down might not be the best bet. Then 1 Tornado Dragon as another really easy out to back row. And then finally, as a combo piece, we're playing 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity. We make this with the Rank Up Magic Soul Shave Force. We special summon back our 4 Strix, use Soul Shave with Soul Shave Force, and immediately turn it into Cyber Dragon Infinity. Really, really useful card. It's just a free Omni Negate that can absorb a card as material if it sticks around. And then for our links, we're not playing very many. We play 1 Salamangreat Almirage. Sometimes you have sort of clunky hands that you need to just normal summon something, say with a Parallel Exceed. So you can normal summon something, link it off into Almirage, make a Parallel Exceed, and then at least you've done something with your play. 1 Raidraptor Wise Strix. This is how we combo 2 Darkwing Beast monsters, so we're frequently making this with 4 Strix. It then special summons a Raidraptor monster, a Darkwing Beast, sorry, not a Raidraptor, from your deck in defense position, negates its effect, but can't be used as link material, but that doesn't matter, we're usually going to be Xyzing with it. And you can also, if you activate a Raidraptor Xyz monster effect, set 1 rank up magic spell from your deck. So what you're doing is you're using 4 Strix to add, say, a Mimicry Lanius to your hand. You're linking off the 4 Strix and something else into this. You're then using this to special summon something. You're then special summoning out another Raidraptor Extender, going into another 4 Strix, adding something else, and so on. Really, really, really useful card. Really, really strong card. It does so much for the deck. And then finally, the last Link monster we're playing is Rusty Bardiche. Absolutely phenomenal card. Lets you get so many extra interruptions, lets you destroy cards on the field by making Xyz monsters. And yeah, just a really, really strong card. Just remember, you can't use it as Link material, although that doesn't matter anyway, because the 2 Links that we're playing in this build couldn't use it anyway. So that is the deck. It comes to about £125. For upgrades, you could look at adding in the classics, your access code talkers, your Ash Blossoms, your Dark Ruler No Mores, all of those. We've heard them all before, but unfortunately, right now, the game is relatively expensive. But I hope you enjoyed the deck. It's very different to a lot of things. It has some really, really cool combo lines. And if you like this, let me know, and I will see you again soon.